All right, let's think about this for a second. What if technology could actually solve some of a country's biggest, most deep-seated problems? Well, today, we're going to dive into a blueprint that's designed to do exactly that for Nigeria. The goal? To transform it into a secure, transparent, and, well, digital society. So how would that even work? Let's break it down.
I mean, just listen to that. The whole vision kicks off with this really powerful idea. And you can tell right away, this isn't just about, getting new gadgets or faster internet. No, this is about using technology to completely reshape things like public safety and how the government works. It is, without a doubt, a super ambitious goal. So that's the big question, right? Is something like this just a utopian dream, a complete fantasy, or could it actually be a digital reality just waiting to happen? Well, according to the plan we're about to walk through, the answer is pretty clear. It's definitely the second one. Okay, so this whole concept, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's actually built on some real-world success stories. So before we dig into the specifics for Nigeria, it's probably a good idea to see how a few other nations have already paved the way. Yeah, two of the big ones that always come up are Estonia and Singapore. And what's really cool is that they didn't do it the same way. They took pretty different paths, but both of them give us these incredible lessons in how tech can seriously drive a country forward. Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting, because you see these two totally different philosophies at play. You've got Estonia, right? They went all in on e-government. We're talking over 600 public services moved online. And the impact? It was huge. You get this massive boost in transparency, which led to a serious drop in corruption. Then you look at Singapore. They took a different approach with their Smart Nation initiative. Their focus was all about using tech to beef up public safety and, you guessed it, cut down crime rates. So two very different models, but both were incredibly effective.
All right, so with those examples in mind, how do you actually apply these lessons to build this vision in Nigeria? Well, the whole plan is built on 4 essential pillars. These are the absolute foundation. Let's break them down. So here they are, the 4 big ones. A national digital identity system, a totally cashless economy, robust digital surveillance, and a transparent judicial system. The best way to think about these is like the 4 legs of a table. You need all of them. Each one is absolutely critical, and as we're about to see, they all work together to hold the whole thing up. So first up is that national digital ID. And we're not just talking about another plastic card in your wallet. Nope. This is more like a secure, unique digital key that every single citizen gets. The idea is you'd use this for, well, everything. Voting, banking, you name it. And what that does is create a clear, verifiable digital trail for every important transaction or interaction.
Okay, pillar number 2, moving toward a cashless economy. And again, this is way more than just about convenience, not having to carry around bills and coins. It's a fundamental shift. It's about making electronic transactions through your bank, your phone, your cards, the absolute standard, pushing physical cash to the side. The end goal here is a financial system that's completely transparent.
So why does that matter so much? What's the real benefit here? Well, it's simple. A digital transaction leaves a footprint. It leaves a trace. When you get rid of physical cash, you make it incredibly difficult, almost impossible, to make those untraceable payments. The exact kind of payments that fuel corruption and, yes, those cash-for-ransom activities that we talked about right at the very beginning. So we've got the big vision, and we've got the 4 pillars holding it up. But the question remains, how do you actually make it happen? Well, the plan lays out a pretty clear 5-step roadmap to get there. And you can see how logical this is, right? It all builds on itself. Step 1, you've got to have the foundation in place. That means high-speed internet, data centers, the works. Then, once you have that, you can roll out the national digital ID system. And with that ID system in place, you can really start pushing for those cashless transactions. Now, of course, with all this data flying around, you absolutely have to protect it. That's step 4, beefing up cybersecurity. And finally, you bring in the digital surveillance systems to help deter crime and keep people safe. Okay, so we've looked at the examples from other countries, we've broken down the 4 pillars, we've seen the 5-step roadmap, which brings us all the way back to that first question we asked. Is this a dream or is it reality? Well, the crucial takeaway here seems to be that this really isn't a pipe dream. The tech for all this, it already exists. The blueprints from places like Estonia and Singapore, they're right there. The whole plan frames this as a tangible, totally achievable goal. But, and this is a big but,
It all hinges on two absolutely critical things: getting the right investment and having the political will to actually see it all the way through.
So we want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. When you look at that 5-step roadmap we just went over, which one of those steps do you think is the most critical? Like the one domino that has to fall first to make this whole digital future a reality? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.